Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Unpacking Abroad. My name is Titilola. Today I have a guest with me. Her name is Modupe. First thing first, thank you for making out time to come.
You're welcome.
Because it's not easy. I know you don't even have to explain to me. I know it's not easy to make out time for anybody in this country. It's not easy. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
and you are very appreciated.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm okay.
How is everything generally?
Generally, yeah, everything is okay. Everything is fine. As a Christian, definitely we bless God. The God factor will always be there
Of
because
course.
grace cannot be overemphasized.
Of course. So there's a Nigeria group in Essex, and she's one of the admin, and I must commend her. She's very amazing. She replies messages like ASAP. I'm always wondering, like, how do these people have time to actually reply everybody? And like, practically I can just drop a message now that please I need to do this, in the next few seconds somebody has already replied me. One of the like, I don't know how you guys have time. Like, it's just amazing.
I guess it's just the love for people that is driving us, really, because when we formed the group,
because we're not paying you guys for anything.
yeah,
and then you guys are always there, like, practically.
Yeah, so it's more like, okay, so for me, what drives me is I've gone through this process, I've gone through this route. Why should someone else be stranded?
Yeah,
not like I know all the wrong moves and all the right moves, but at least with my little experience, I'm like, if I went this way and it worked for me, why can't I introduce it to other people?
Because I know a lot of people will collect money for that.
Like, why do you have to sweat? So it's just like saying, for instance, I'm looking for admission in so place. After looking at your qualification and everything, because of my experience, I can easily tell you, pick this school, pick that school, and you have your options. And just telling you can keep applying. I know someone who applied like that, so like how many schools, and didn't get any offer. But the person said, when she read my testimony of how my husband got an offer at University of Essex, she just tried it, and that was the only school that gave her the admission. So sometimes it's more of, you don't need to make certain mistakes. Like, they will tell you experience is the best teacher. But for me, why make mistake that some people have made before when you can learn from their mistake? Just to avoid making it.
It's well appreciated. Thank you very much for having Nigerians back here, because I understand very well. So, are you married?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So, how are you coping?
Coping. I'll say I'm coping fine. I'm a kind of person, if I've made up my mind on something, I just tell myself, go for it. Okay. There's no time for regrets. You get the regrets might want to come in, but there's no point, because if you're regretting, you're only wasting time. Yeah. When you can, forge ahead to make things right. But you can't turn back the ends of time. Possible. So where you're regretting, someone else is already moving. Yeah. So why don't you just move? And at the end of the day, take everything as the story that led to where you were going. Okay.
So you moved to the UK during COVID period?
No, after COVID. Just after COVID, that's 2021. Oh,
okay. So how has it been since then?
So for me, I would say it's been good, because it looked like we were ready to move. We're ready to go to the next stage. Okay, the mind was made up. Yes. So when myself and my husband talked about it, we knew we were ready to move. We were prepared. Not like we knew what the future held. Coming to the UK, it was more of, we are moving, we're going to give it all it takes to make it work. So that was, so that's basically why, when you ask me how has everything been, it's been good, because it's more like
no regrets.
Exactly. I won't say no regrets, but we're not dwelling on it.
Okay.
So it's more like we told ourselves we wanted to move,
and that was it.
And that's, you understand.
You have two beautiful boys.
Yeah,
how do you cope?
Boys.
In this place, there's no grandma that you can just drop your kids with. Like, exactly. Grandma, I'm coming. Just take care of your, How do you cope?
So I'll say, for me, another thing that worked for me was when I was granting my interviews, for work, searching for work and all of that. I didn't know the kind of work to expect. A lot of people will say care and other things, but because I'm a chartered accountant, so I was just telling myself, no, I will get something corporate, something office, because that's what I was used to in Nigeria and all of that. Yeah. And thankfully, I got an insurance job. Oh. But the beautiful thing about it is that at the interview stage, my now line manager just said, oh, will you try this because they have different shift pattern.
Okay.
And then she was like, oh, will I try this shift pattern that allows us to just work at night?
Oh.
I just jumped at it. Like, it was like God just God just saw me. And because she was like, oh, childcare, okay, we have this shift pattern for night handlers, like night only, and all of that. I just jumped at it. Like, I didn't even think I wasn't expecting, like, I didn't believe there would be a work that would just, you know, from the comfort of your house. I don't have to go anywhere. Like exactly. And the office set up the workplace, you know, sent me tools to work with, laptops and everything, screens and all of that. Like,
wow.
So I remember, I know when I tell people that I work from home fully remote, and you know, I have the days off, the days on, and all of that, they're like,
you're lucky, really. God has been by your side.
Exactly.
You know, so that makes things very, very easy.
My husband is able to go to work with peace. Like, okay, there's always an adult at home with the kids and all of that. Yeah.
So everything has been good, because for you to be working fully at home, no, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine I'm just coming in. I just got married, and you know, we are newly wedded, you know, and we are still in this romantic phase of our relationship, and we just came here and we discovered that my husband has to work, I have to work, and our days off are not even aligning. How do you think we can cope with that?
Okay, so when I first got my job, because I needed to do training at the office, so we had that issue. My husband was a student, obviously, so I was the dependent, and he needed to go to school, and his own work was at night too. So during the day he goes to school, I will have to go for training. Then the kids. So we had to talk about it. We looked at this timetable. Even myself, I had to look at, okay, my training timetable. Because one thing I like about the Western culture, you can walk up to anybody and tell them. I think they have this thing for childcare. So when they hear childcare, they are willing to listen.
Yeah, they do.
So I spoke with my line manager and I explained it to her, and she was willing to tweak my training a bit for me. So for days that I know that, okay, I can't escape, you know, closing late. My husband is away, and somehow it just aligned that maybe those are the days they probably would not have classes, or you will have classes but they finish earlier. You understand? But where he really can't make it, I know the ball drops on me, so I have to speak to my line manager. So I just tell them, okay, I'm mortgaging my 1 hour break. I won't take it. I'd rather so I close earlier so I can pick the kids. Yeah. When I was in Nigeria, before I got married, I always listened to late Bimbo the choir. And one thing that struck, that she was always talking about, she kept emphasizing on communication. Communication. You cannot assume on behalf of someone else.
No, you can't.
Not your spouse, not your kids, not your parents. You need to find out what's going on. You need to talk about it. You need to. So I just realized that it even goes beyond marriage. You need to communicate. If you're talking to your friends, you're talking to anybody, communication is key. If I come with my Nigerian mindset to say, before my boss will say, am I the only person with kids? I can't meet up, I can't walk up to them. And this environment is quite different. You can walk up to anybody and talk to them, especially when you're coming from a genuine point of end place, you know. They are willing to listen. I just said, why not? So every time I
gave it a go.
Exactly. I always, even till now, I try to encourage people that don't assume your office will think you're pressurizing them if you need something. Go and talk. You'll be surprised that you will talk and they'll be like, why didn't you mention it before? Because for some reason, I just find a lot of empathy in this environment. If you know how to harness it. Not that you will take it for granted, not that you will abuse it. You understand? So use it for good causes. It just makes sense. Learn to communicate. Close mouth to the closed destiny.
It is.
The way it is in marriage is the way it is outside marriage. You have to communicate. With your spouse, you communicate. Even with your kids, you communicate. Your parents, your in-laws, everybody, you communicate like we're talking.
That yes or no.
Exactly.
They can't kill you.
Exactly. So So I just find that communication really, really helps me a lot.
Okay, this is a scenario. If you got offered like multi-million work back in Nigeria, like good job, it comes with a car, with a house, are you willing to move back?
Honestly speaking, I won't.
Really?
Yeah. And I have a reason.
Okay, what's the reason?
So when people come and say after 15 years abroad, they went back. If you check, sometimes they don't say the full story. The full story is they are settled, they have their papers.
Yeah, that's true.
So if anything goes wrong, they know they can
always
back.
come back. Yeah.
I just came. I'm trying to get my papers.
Yeah. Still enjoying it.
Yeah.
How are you coping with the weather actually and the food?
Oh my god! Weather, food. Okay, so it takes me back to, I already told myself I was coming to the UK. I don't expect that I was going to be, I still try to do some African dishes and all of that.
Yeah.
But it can't be 100% like when you have it back home where you feel like eating this one, you can quickly just dash away. You forward think. You want to, that mindset of trying to convert to Naira.
Food is quite expensive.
Exactly. So for me, it's just like, buy what you can afford and leave the rest, like a mix.
Yeah.
So I try to do the mix, sometimes we go the Western, sometimes we go the African.
But more of African.
Of course, more of African. More of African. For the weather,
are you used to it?
it's cold. Who can get used to cold? Just wear your thermal coats, clothing and everything.
Are the kids used to the weather too?
So there's this different grace that goes with kids.
Okay.
Once they are kids, they can adjust and cope to anything. So I think it's just a rare grace. So that's why I understand when Jesus says you have to become a child back, so that you can access some things and everything.
So there's not been any complaint like, Mommy, when are we going back to Nigeria? Not even one time. Mommy, I miss Nigeria. Let's go back.
They don't. Funny enough.
Whoa. They don't miss Nigeria.
I think they're just excited about the move, the new, and they've seen a lot of other Nigerian kids here too. So they're like, if they're here, why can't
so why do you have like me and my husband time?
Yes, for that we do it intentionally. You have to be intentional.
Yeah, okay.
If you leave it to chance, chances are it won't happen.
Okay.
You understand? Okay, so I work from home, but even though I work from home, I work all night. Right now I finished a shift by 4. I haven't slept. I've taken the kids to school. I'm here with you. You understand? So I imagine my husband comes and says, there's this get together somewhere and all of that. For the most part, I even try to encourage that we go for all these hangouts.
Okay.
Because you can't just, no man is an island. So go mix with people.
Yes, it's very nice.
Let's learn their culture. When you say you're throwing maybe like a get together, a barbecue party and all of that, I like to go to experience it. What does it entail? What do they do?
It's not every time there's work.
Exactly, and all of that. So no matter how tired, I just try to encourage. Sometimes I don't just come from, like, there was one we went to recently. That was on, I think, January 3rd. He just came back from work, like he was so tired at Chelmsford. I was one who appealed, let's go.
Let's just try.
Let's go. I mean, this couple they've reached out to us, and I can assure you that we're probably very few of us they invited. So imagine us not coming. That vacuum will be there. And you know how these places you pay. So they probably have done the reservation for so number of people.
And the food and everything.
Exactly. It can't be refunded. So let's just honor it. So I try to encourage. Then when he has office parties too, like they say you can come with your spouse, I'll be like, we're going. Because those are the only time we really have to go out. So we'll go without the kids. We'll drop the kids with my brother or my sister.
Okay.
In Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you just have to be intentional. Like it looks like there's a lot more work when you move from your comfort zone. There's always a lot more
Nigeria
work.
is actually a comfort zone.
It's a comfort zone, to an extent, because you have family around. Like we were living close to family.
You expect everything to just fall on your lap first time.
You understand? Like you get so
this place you just have to do the work.
Exactly. So here you have to be intentional. There are so many laws around where you have to laws governing kids, laws governing how to handle individuals, respect for individuals, and all of that. So you have to be intentional because ignorance is not an excuse.
No, it's not actually. It's not. You can't say I didn't know. Nothing like that.
Exactly.
I remember when I first came and they gave me ticket. I didn't buy train ticket coming from London to this place. I thought maybe I would just tap. And I was still very, very, very new. Maybe like the third day I came here, and I got a job interview around this place. And I was telling them, I just arrived. It's not their business. And they gave me ticket. I was like, I just came. Like, this is my that was when I knew that it's not an excuse.
Like you have to be being intentional. You have to be aware of your environment. So you can't leave anything to chance. You can't leave anything to chance because here there's no sentiments, no emotion. When it comes to the law, the rules, there are no sentiments.
No at all.
It's either you abide by it or you get fined or penalized for not abiding, things like that. So
I believe in Nigeria you can always have your way around anything. You can just make one phone call and everything will be settled.
Exactly, but here There's nothing like man, no
yo.
man. So you have to be intentional. You have to learn to communicate. Those
Very
two things. If you can do it, like, you know, like make it a second part of you,
then you'll be fine.
for the most part, you would sail through for the most part.
So thank you very much for the best. So do you have any other thing you want to add for us, really?
So yeah, I remember before I came, because my husband came first and then we joined him like 2 months after, and I remembered when we came, he was saying someone told him that you're bringing your wife from Nigeria. Yeah, I would have said you should leave her or be careful. And everything, you know?
I know, right?
And so when he told me, I just laughed and said, oh, the guy doesn't know our relationship and how we relate. Like, we
yes, I've read a lot about that.
We talk about everything and anything.
Oh,
like we talk about everything.
Don't
so
bring your wife
I think for you to know that, I mean, for him to have told me what that person said, so that's for you to know that we talk about everything and anything. Exactly. So that's why that communication is key. Like when I was coming, I wasn't coming because now my husband is abroad, that bought one big car. I came, I knew the realities I was coming to face, so I was prepared.
Because you guys have talked about it.
We've talked about it, so we knew we wanted to relocate. We talked, so it wasn't a case of someone forced me to. I made up my mind I was coming, he made up his mind he was coming. That's as individuals and then together.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. And of course there's the place for compromise. I mean, for him to have studied is a lot. He did a 2-year course. It's a lot, you know, and then I knew that I needed to play my own part as the dependent.
Yes.
You know, financially, emotionally, you know, taking care of the family, which he even used to assist me when it comes down. Sometimes because then I was working 2 jobs. Okay. So one was my remote job and the other one entailed me going out. But they were all night jobs.
Oh, okay.
So when I come back like that, I'm fagged out. Sometimes I just sleep all through. It won't bother me. You just do everything, take care of the kids and all of that. Then when I wake up, you just like, are you okay? You know, and everything. Of course, there were a bit of strain here and then. You know, sometimes we just get overwhelmed, and yeah, it wasn't so smooth, like smooth, but we knew where to draw the lines. Like, you know, when they will say don't let the sun set on your anger, you know, you're feeling somehow, it could drag for days, but at least we'll talk about it, that okay, I didn't like what you did this day, or I was coming home to tell you this was what happened in class or at work, and I didn't like the mood I met you, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, and then with time everything started easing out because everyone was pressured. My husband was pressured. He needed to read his book, he needed to pass, you know, the project tests, placement and all of that, you know, and at the same time we're looking at you know, the school fees and everything. But you know, God just came through. Yeah, God came through, but we put in our work too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because faith without works is dead. Yeah. So we had the faith that everything will go through. We played our parts. We didn't just leave everything to God. Okay, God, that means this is not Nigeria where an uncle can just come and greet you and say, because we have to thank you.
No, people don't dash people money. Yeah.
So nobody was thinking of anybody here. You know,
your own.
Exactly, and all of that. Because, and then yeah, we are here. He's done with the school. We're here and everything. Now sometimes we sit, we talk about, you know, talk about it and like, wow, who would have believed, you know, and everything. But yeah, it's part of our story and everything. So yeah, it could be hard for some people depending on the mindset they came with. Because
I'm sure as the admin of a Nigerian group, I'm sure you'll have settled a lot of issues concerning, you'll have heard a lot of issues concerning people bringing their wife, and you know, husband will turn to another thing, wife will turn to another thing.
Exactly.
Like it's been, and most men are scared. I'm going to put it that way, that okay, sometimes they will bring in their wife and she's going to turn to another thing entirely. And most husbands too is in both ways.
It's both ways, yeah.
So, but then I'm glad you have an amazing marriage.
Thank you.
I'm very, very glad. But then I really don't know what's going on, because marriages are failing abroad. It's really, really failing. Something that we don't have back home. I don't know what the issue is, but as you said, I think most time it's communication.
It's communication, and then when you get here, you have to be intentional.
You just, you know.
Exactly. Like when you get here, you have to be intentional. There's no. So yeah, we are still Africans. We are Nigerians, but there are some things that when you come here, you just find out that this one was, you know, it wasn't necessary. This wasn't necessary. Like I tell people that, see, yeah, you love yourselves, but once you cross that border, let love be on hold.
Really?
Let love be on hold, because love is not enough. You have to partner. with one another. You know, when you say you and someone will put the business together, it's partnership.
Yes.
You probably will be doing marketing, the other person will be doing maybe surveys. Like
So
you have to work
I
together.
love you again.
Love is not enough.
Just
you see that love will come naturally when everything settles. But you can't come, you're on the edge, he's on the edge, she's on the edge, you know. Before you know it, you're breathing down on the kids. And then kids start getting affected.
Yes.
You understand?
It's going to affect them eventually.
Yeah. So you just have to, it's more just be intentional. That's my own advice for anyone coming. Because truth about that, if you're intentional, you'll most likely communicate. If you communicate, you'll most likely be intentional. Like I think they go hand in hand. Looking at it now, I think they go hand in hand. You can't do anything absent-mindedly and expect it to fall in place.
No, it's not possible.
It's just like saying you're feeling pressed. You have to get up and go to the toilet.
Yes.
No matter how you wish for the feeling, the sensation to go, it's still, you need to expel it. So you need to go to the toilet. So your body has communicated to you. You have to be intentional about carrying yourself exactly. So you see that they go together actually, communication and intentionality. You have to communicate, you have to be intentional. When I hear some marriage stuff, I'm like, it's not that bad now. Like, you guys, have you talked it out? You just need to talk it out. That's it. Like,
give
it's
each
not
other
that
space to just talk it out.
Because I remember when we were done, I think from December 31st, so I put something on my status. I think I saw it somewhere on another group, and then it was like, for those of you that weathered this storm together in your marriage, keep up the good work, you know, congrats, and 2024 we go again and everything. So I put it on my status, and some guys actually came and did and I said, you guys calm down. Every misunderstanding or disagreement does not have to end in separation or divorce.
No.
Even there's some of us that we get convictions, we get like we when we want to do something, our intuition will tell us go ahead, don't go ahead. We still argue with intuition to say do you understand?
Yes.
So if you can argue with yourself, it's normal you argue with the other person.
It's normal.
When you're arguing with someone, you are still communicating. By the end of the day, there must be a middle ground. In fact, there's a saying of we disagree to agree, we agree to disagree or something. It's a cycle. Yes. It's not a one-stop shop stuff.
I don't think it's possible for two people to just be together without, any disagreement.
Exactly. There will always be disagreements.
Excuse me. Even friends,
you get.
So
I have some friends that if we see ourselves now, the way we would gist, you think we still saw ourselves yesterday. But it might have been months ago.
And the next time will be months again.
You understand? But when we see ourselves, we pick up from as if we never left. You get? So, and at that minute, we can do one thing that will vex the other person. And at the end of the day, but we know that before leaving, parting ways, you have to settle it.
Yeah.
You get? So that you can check up on one another and all of that. So, communication, intentionality, those two things become, very important for me. Even parents to children, friends, like you said, colleagues, and all of that.
Thank you very much, Onipe, for coming. It was really educating, and I learned a lot. I'm not even going to lie, because people make it a big deal, like don't come with your wife, don't come with your husband. It's just too much. And then they'll say, "You come in. When you come here, don't worry, you'll be sending money home, and they'll be fine. Just keep her there, because the moment she comes there, her eyes will open and she will start misbehaving." But then I've learned a lot today, and I really, really do appreciate.
I think another thing is people should learn to manage their expectations. Like there's one distant friend like that came alone, studied, is now working full time, and I kept on saying, when are you bringing your family? When are you bringing your family? Yes, because for me, you can't be a married man and be separated from your family. I don't know how you want to talk. For me, your family should be your source of energy, your kids, your wife, and everything. He's always saying something that. But one thing I told him, I said, most importantly, please manage your expectation. You have been here over a year. Let her not think she's coming to see big. Let her know she's coming to struggle it out with you. Because if you just bring her now, she, by the time she's waving everybody goodbye in Nigeria, there are people already assuming on her behalf, and she's already assuming that this is what she's coming to see. But please manage your expectation. Let her know that you probably don't have a car. There's no car. You're coming to work. You get exactly. Not even bills. Like you're coming so that we can do things together and achieve it faster. Sometimes, even the Bible says, "Can two work together except they agree?" That's one. And then one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000 tens of thousands, right? Good. So if we come together, so for instance, you're trying to do a project. Imagine you alone doing a project, and then you're trying to save up like 50 pounds. Yeah. Imagine you and your husband together.
It's going to make
You might just see yourself saving 150, 200. Tell me how that project will be faster.
a lot of sense.
You understand? So two of you, yeah, I told him, please manage your expectation. She's not coming to drive Bugatti or Ferrari or anything. She's coming to work it out with you, like you guys are. You understand? Because you just finished being a student, so you were not so really like you were just doing your 20 hours and barely getting by. But now that she's coming, it should be a form of relief for you. Then two of you go to the drawing board and say, okay, how do we achieve this together? Together, not your money is my money, my money is your money. I don't even understand that statement.
They don't do that here.
I know some people do, but it's fine. It doesn't work, so you get, yeah, you can have your money, has the money, and you have your combined money, it's fine. But my own is when you pull resources together, you will see,
a lot of sense.
you will see the speed. And I'm talking from experience. Pulling resources together, you will see the speed. It's not a fit kind of thing. It's something that has worked, and I know a lot of people can attest to it.
People say, it's my husband that would do this, my husband that would do this, my husband that would, and the husband is already overwhelmed. I'm tired.
Like, yeah, the bills don't end.
And so you start misbehaving because you're not cooperating with him. Yeah.
And this place that they encourage a lot of direct debit, so you can make one someone's account having like 6 direct debits.
The moment you get your salary, is already going.
You understand? Everything has
water, electricity, everything.
And the person is left with like maybe barely £100, and the person has a spouse. So for me, that's why the Bible said your wife is the helpmate. You understand? There's something you're supposed to do as a wife. You understand? Yeah, live the baby girl life and all of that, but the husband is the head, is providing. You are his helpmate. That's what the Bible said, helpmate. So that means there's something you are supposed to do.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you actually came, because I'm sure we learned a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. So next time if I call you, are you going to come?
We'll see to that.
But then I really appreciate if you can come next time. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you.